Welcome to Falcons in a Flash. We are here with four of our wonderful student ambassadors, and I'm going to talk with them this morning about Sherwood Middle Academic Magnet School. So we are going to start with our first question, and I want you to tell me about your favorite class at Sherwood Middle, whether it's been this year in our virtual setting or in the last years while you were in the building at Sherwood Middle. So let's start with Addison.
My favorite class now, it has to be computer applications. But if we're talking about last year, it'd be Mr. Berthold's class. I really liked his class. He was a really good teacher and his lessons were fun. And with computer applications, the teacher's really nice. And the assignments we do are really fun.
What kind of things do y'all do in computer applications, Addison?
We're doing, as of now, we're doing group sites where we would, where there's 4 to 5 people in a group and we would talk about ourselves in a Google site. And we do... So
you're creating your own Google site?
Yes, ma'am.
Very cool. Okay. And then what makes Mr. Berthold's class fun? You use that word fun. What makes his class fun?
Well, the lessons we do, they're like really good. And he's a great teacher. He's really funny. And I really like how he teaches. His style is great. And then I liked social studies to begin with. It was already a fun topic to talk about. And so when I took his class, I really liked it a lot.
Okay. Thanks, Addison. Razia, why don't you tell us about your favorite class at Sherwood?
My favorite class at Sherwood last year was definitely Mr. Berthold's class because he was just an awesome person in general. Like, even if you weren't in his class, he would still say hi to you in the hallways. And he just made learning really fun. And he really interacted with us. But this year, my favorite class is probably art because it's just a really nice environment to be in. And everyone's really supportive of each other. And she gives us a lot of freedom and gives us fun assignments.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Mr. Berthold our teacher of the year last year?
He was.
Did y'all all have Mr. Berthold? Oh, you lucky kiddos. You're right. Mr. Berthold does have some really unique ways of bringing social studies to life. For example, didn't I see him dressed up as a knight one day last year? He had like that heavy chainmail stuff on. Didn't he wear that to school one day? And I saw him dressed as, he came as a hippie to school one day with a long wig. Trying to think what else I've seen him dressed as. He definitely has his ways of keeping y'all interested. Am I right? Good. All right, Jay, tell me about your favorite class.
Well, same as all the others. My favorite class was Mr. Berthold's last year. He was just really funny, and the way he taught is just the way he spoke made everything sound interesting. Even if he talked about paint drying, it would be interesting to him. It would be interesting.
I think I agree with you, Jay. That's very true. He could make paint drying.
The way of making anything interesting. And I think that my most favorite part about his class last year was whenever we took the virtual field trip with the VR goggles.
Oh, tell me about that. I don't know anything about that. Tell me about it.
Yeah, last year he partnered up with Miss Harsh from the library and they had a bunch of little handheld VR goggles that you would wear over your face, and he would give us like lessons about a bunch of different places that we went to.
Is VR virtual reality?
Yes.
So y'all got to visit some of the places through virtual reality that you were talking about in your class. What was one of the places y'all visited? Remember?
Dang, those were
one of the stops?
Yeah, we actually visited Mount Olympus.
Cool. So cool. Laurel, give me a thumbs up. Did you also get to do that lesson with virtual reality? Tell me about it from your perspective.
I thought it was really cool. We obviously had to share, which was not a problem. It's just that you took a little longer, but we got to see like all the buildings that they people from Rome and Greece made and what was still there. And I thought it was really cool and definitely an interesting way to teach about what we were learning. And the class definitely went by really fast.
That's good to know. All right. So if you had to pick one of your favorite clubs or extracurricular activities or groups that you were a part of either this year or last year, including being a student ambassador, because that is an extracurricular activity because y'all put a lot of time and effort into being an ambassador. What would be one of their favorite things that you participated in the since you've been at Sherwood? Let's start with Laurel.
This year I really like choir a lot more than I did last year. Maybe it's because I'm a 7th grader. I don't know. But I really like it because the environment Miss Eves creates and how she's so laid back, and we're all very supportive of each other, and there's no judgment, obviously, because we have to sing and we're learning how to sing and improve our voices. So having no judgment in that class is always a plus. And the projects that she has us do that include music is just so fun, and it's so relaxing, and it's like homework that I want to do and homework that I don't want to do.
Were you in choir last year too, Laurel?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the experience like whenever y'all went to compete for different festivals around the city? I know y'all went downtown for a couple of things. How was that? What was that experience like?
At first it was very nerve-wracking because obviously I was with a group, so it wasn't as bad, but still, I still have stage fright. I'm working on that. But actually last year, I don't remember which, I think it might have been our winter formal. So 6th grade actually was the only choir that won the award, and I was in 6th grade choir, so I'm pretty proud of that. We also did some sight reading, which 6th grade won that award as well, so that was pretty fun.
Do students come in to choir never having learned about music before? So could a student who has never learned anything about music come into choir as a 6th grader and learn how to read music and learn how to hear the notes and that kind of thing?
Yes, definitely. Miss Thieves was open for a challenge. Last year when I came into 6th grade, I didn't really know how to read music. I was in a choir, but we weren't taught how to read music. And now this year I've learned so much from her, and I'm really excited because I want to write my own songs and play the piano too.
Fabulous. That sounds fun. Write your own music? Awesome. All right, kiddos, let's see. Addison, tell me about your favorite extracurricular or club or other activity that you're involved in at Sherwood.
Well, if I'm tied between 4-H, which was my club last year, and being a library helper, which I was also last year. I'm tied between those two because I really liked doing the book talks that we did as a library helper, and I liked how I got to shelf books and be responsible with the library. And while Miss Harsh was gone and somebody's name who I forgot, she was Miss Reynolds, yes. Mm-hmm. And while Miss Reynolds wasn't here at the time, I got to be the librarian for the day, which was really fun. But I liked 4-H as well because I learned how to shoot a gun while I was there at the time. And we got to help out at Audubon, help little kids make Mardi Gras beads, and we got king cake. It's really fun.
So y'all partnered with Audubon Elementary, which is right next door, and y'all did some service projects with them.
Yes, ma'am.
That sounds amazing. I think those are both of those activities teach a lot about responsibility and teach a lot about leadership. And so I think that you, along with you being a student ambassador, I think that probably is guiding you on the right path, Addison. All right. Jay, tell me about your favorite extracurricular.
Well, seeing as that Laurel was on the choir side, I am on the band side. I play tuba in band, and it's just really fun. Everybody's like, "Oh man!" Everybody just laughs when you say I play tuba, but it's actually really fun. And it's actually really hard to play the tuba because every time you really have to have a lot of air stuffed in just to. You have to have a lot of air to play that thing. So, and Mr. Pizzo, each time you play it, he says, imagine yourself being fat. The bigger your instrument, the fatter you are. So, because that's the amount of air you have to store. So,
Mr. Pizzo has unique ways of getting y'all to do what he wants. Am I right?
Yes.
So tell us about Mr. Pizzo and his class. What about his teaching techniques?
Well, he's a very I wouldn't say he's strict, and I wouldn't say he's really really I wouldn't say that he's not very strict. I wouldn't say he's totally not strict, and I wouldn't say that he is strict. He's somewhere in the middle because he expects excellence out of you, but he knows that you're going to mess up a few times. But he really does want you to practice a bunch.
What was your favorite part of being in band last year, other than the fact that our wonderful Disney trip got canceled because of COVID-19? What was your favorite part of being in the band?
Well, I feel really sorry for all the intermediate band that got that canceled, because the day that we had to go home was the day they were about to leave, and that was just so that probably annoyed a bunch of them. But I think my favorite part about his class was whenever we would I think our concert at school, our winter concert, I think. Yeah, our winter concert. That was really fun. And I'm kind of sad that we couldn't do our spring concert.
I know. Well, and the good thing is that Mr. Pizzo, because his band is, you can take band for multiple years, he'll still have y'all on track this year to be able to perform. I'm fascinated at what he can teach y'all in such a short period of time. Most people, it takes years to learn instruments, and within, 6 or 8 weeks, he's got y'all playing full songs and reading full sheets of music, which is amazing to me. So I agree. I think band is one of our coolest programs at school. All right, Rosie, you tell me, your turn. Tell me about your favorite extracurricular or club or activity that you do.
Well, my favorite club, it was my only club, but last year I did Me Time, which was really fun because with school you can get so busy, and it's good to just take time to yourself and do whatever you want. And I also really like art. I used to not be so good at drawing, but now I've seen a big improvement in what I've done, and I've had fun doing it. And I've never really been in the music industry kind of part of the school, but I have seen some of the classes, and everyone seems to have so much fun doing choir and band, and all the teachers at Sherwood are just really good at teaching what they teach.
I agree. And I think the important thing, I think a lot of kids go into middle school kind of being a little scared to try something new. Am I right? Like if you went to an arts elementary school, visual performing arts elementary, it might be a little scary to go into forensic science or robotics, right? Because you're good at art, you know what to do. Or the opposite, if you went to a STEM or science focused elementary school, like some of y'all did, it might be scary for you to get into drawing or playing an instrument. But you guys have all done a pretty good job of, learning all the sides of what education is about. It's not just about, science or art. We can do all at the same time. Am I right?